And yes, we are live, preparing your child for puberty before they get there. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. You are welcome to our Tuesday Live. And if you're here, you've seen me, you can hear me, you can see me. Let me see your comment right in the comment section telling me that yes, you can see me. Yadas, I see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. As usual, you guys are always here first to arrive. Let me see who came here first. All right, at 1:32, we had Grace Elimi here. Awesome. Of course, this is so awesome. We have fathers in the house. Congratulations to all the fathers. Congratulations to all the fathers and the fathers who actually were at the just concluded fathers conference. It was awesome. If anybody you know wasn't there, get them the replay links to actually go and listen to. It was amazing. Have you invited someone now to come and join us at this particular Tuesday Live? It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very intriguing. There's so much to learn in the recent times. In fact, on a daily basis, I will receive nothing less than 10 chats telling me about a sexual molestation experience as a young child. Sometimes I'm receiving, messages about stories that happened in the past, and sometimes even their children. This morning, I was sharing with the parents in the inner circle, and I said to them that sexual molestation takes away the soul. There's something about the soul, there's something about your destiny that actually slows down. And that's why we're very emphatic about, sexual molestation. Apostle Ifeanyi Victor, shout out to you, sir. And I am particularly excited about this sex educate your child like a pro. Please, let's not take it for granted. There is so much happening, and there's so much that we can see. And did I tell you that the TIP annual conference is coming up soon? The team is going to can add it to that present, all right? And we're going to show you today, we're unveiling the theme of TIP annual conference 2025. Can you wait? TIP annual conference is exciting me. There's something about TIP annual conference that just puts you in the place that you are like, oh, wow. So before we go, please do not go. We're going to show you what the theme is. If you are interested in guessing what the theme is, please go ahead. Put in the comment section and say, I think the theme of TIP annual conference 2025 is so and so. I can't wait for the conference. It changes lives. It has changed my life for 8 years and counting. This will be TIP annual conference 8.0. Come on now. If consistency were a name, it would be the Intentional Parent Academy. Alrighty. And yes, it was so awesome. The TIP Fathers Conference was TIP Fathers Conference number 6. And it's been amazing year in, year out. All right. So TIP Shiloh is coming. 7 days, 40 speakers. We don't play. All righty. So let's go ahead with the conversation of the day. Now, here, puberty is not just about body changes. It's a full body, full brain, full emotion. All right. Somebody said, I think the team is parenting with purpose. Well, bring it on. We'll see whether you're correct or not as we go. Now, when it comes to puberty, right? Many people think that it's all about just, the body, physical body changing. But there's so much that is changing in your child. Do you know that even before the physical changes happen in your child, something happens in their brain, something happens in their emotion. So puberty is not just about body changes, right? It's a full body, full brain, full emotion transformation. If you're waiting for it to just happen and figure it out on the go, the children, you will be late. So you need to actually teach your children what they need to know. Now, I am going to be sharing with you, all right, the things that you need to actually begin to do. The first thing you want to do is prepare yourself to teach your children about sex, puberty, and body safety. That's the first thing. So it's all about you first before we go, all right? And that's one thing that you want to actually work out. I can see my mom is here. Thank you so much, Mom. It is so good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right. Sorry. I think my screen is off. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's go. How do you prepare yourself? Before you prepare your child, you must prepare yourself. Somebody help me put that. Before you prepare your child, you must prepare yourself. There is no preparation for puberty without preparing yourself. If you do not prepare yourself, you would actually make an error. All right. Most times I've seen a lot of parents coming and sharing and just going straight to preparing the children. When you prepare the children without preparing yourself, you will be in trouble. Okay, so you must prepare yourself. You cannot pass on what you haven't processed. Somebody put that in the comment section for me. You cannot pass on what you haven't processed. You cannot teach what you haven't healed. You cannot guide if you're still crippled with fear or even shame. A lot of the times you find out that it's either we're ashamed or we're afraid. So before you prepare your child, you must prepare you. Because you cannot pass on what haven't been processed. You cannot teach what haven't been healed. You cannot guide if you're still in fear or you're still ashamed. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? If you haven't joined us, you haven't invited somebody, take that link, share with someone now, and get people to join in here. All right. And hey, say hello to my mommy. All right. Thank you so much. And of course, I want to say this. Puberty is not a surprise party. Stop acting like it's one. Puberty is a journey that you need to guide your children on and not ghost them. Most of us have ghosted our children in the name of you don't know what to say. So puberty is not a surprise party. Stop acting all surprised. Oh, look at all you. You are now become all big. Please stop acting that way. Stop teasing your children alongside on their puberty journey. All right, what you're doing is that you're acting like it's all, you are all shocked. Hello, there is no shock in the conversation of puberty. Puberty is not a surprise party, it's a journey. You need to guide them. You don't need to ghost them. Stop ghosting your children. Now, here is how you can prepare yourself so that you don't try to ghost your children. Most of you have ghosted your children. If you have not spoken to your child is 5 years. They've not started preparing them for puberty. You are late, ma. Come closer, sir. You are very late. You have turned puberty to a surprise party. And when it happens, both you and your children will be surprised. Because curiosity is going to take over and everything is going to skyrocket to a whole lot of things. All right. The first thing you want to learn is that you need to unlearn the shame-based narrative. You see that shame-based narrative? You need to unlearn it. Many of us grew up in homes where sex was a taboo. Some of us, it was never mentioned. Some of us, it was never whispered. In fact, if you stay it, you're gone. If your parents even hear you ask about sex, the next thing they do to you is to actually put you in prayer. So have you been following the series we've been sharing with the team? So we have shared the different series and the different team members have been sharing their story on how their parents, they found out about sex and what happened. It was Wes Nachi that said that, her mom had to put her in prayer list. And then, Chinedu came and said that, they just gave him Bible. Everything you need is inside. It's as good as ghosting your child. It's as good as ghosting your child. So body parts had funny names, or they were called dirty. No, don't say those dirty things. Puberty was something you have to endure. Puberty was something you just endured. It was never explained. The pains you had in your breast, nobody explained it. The pains you had in your stomach, nobody explained it. The anger that wells up, the mood swings, nobody explained it. You just had to endure it. Just, how do they say it in my office? Just hug it, right? Or chest it. Just chest it and you'll be all right. That narrative never serves your child. So the first thing you want to do is you need to start recognizing that sex conversation is not immoral. Silence is irresponsible. Sex conversation is not immoral. Silence is an irresponsibility. If you're silent, you have not been able to talk about sex with your children, you are irresponsible. Sorry if that doesn't go down well with you, but it's the truth. It's a responsibility. Silence is a responsibility. So yes, I know you have all the excuses. Oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know. And that's why we are in the era of knowledge. My mom is here listening to me. I can tell you for free, my mom didn't say anything about sex to me. I think that most of our parents were careless about this conversation. And most of them didn't even know what to say. And they didn't even know my mom would say, I didn't even know where to go and get the information from. Because I didn't also get it from my own parents. But you know what? We are advantaged. We are in the era where we have access to information. And let me say this here. If you have not registered for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge, please run and go and register for that class. Because you know the truth. The details to register is on my screen. Because you know the truth. We often really think that, it's not anything. But having this conversation with my team members over the past few days, have shown me that whether you're teaching or you're not teaching, believe you me, your child is learning. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. All right. So it is very important that you begin to learn that sex conversation is not going to, whether you are having it or you're not having it, somebody is having it. So there's really no vacuum. Part of what you get is these 3 books on my screen. The 3 books on my screen, you get them free when you register for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. So you need to unlearn the shame-based narrative. Children don't forget what you refuse to explain. They just search for answers elsewhere. Let me say that again. That's something you need to remember. Children don't forget what you refuse to explain. They just search for answers elsewhere. So their curiosity doesn't get killed. Nobody kills curiosity. Curiosity stays there until you get to the root of why you're curious in the first place. Sex conversation does not destroy innocence. Ignorance is what destroys innocence. This morning, Chidera was sharing in her own episode, and she talked about how her innocence became a scandal. She had picked up a condom, didn't know what it is, took it to school, and of course, she was scandalized. And she was called names and all of that. And she said, imagine I was told what this was. I wouldn't have fooled myself. And no, it didn't destroy her innocence. Ignorance is what destroyed her innocence. So we need to need to stop praying for protection only. We need to stop anointing for protection. We must start educating for prevention. Protection is not in your place. In fact, I usually tell the parents in the inner circle, it's arrogant to think that you can protect a child. Did you hear me? It's arrogant to think that you can protect a child. You do not have the power of protection. What you have is the power of education for prevention. That's what you have. You have the power to orchestrate. That is the power of parenting. See, there are 2 sides of raising and guiding a human being: parenting and protecting. The job of protection is not yours. The job of parenting is yours. Unfortunately, you want God to parent for you. May God teach my children, teachers of the Lord. Your children will need to be taught of the Lord. Who is the teacher of the Lord? You are the one who will teach them. There has to be a teacher. The Bible says, I have given you teachers, priests over you. Are you a teacher over your child? But we rather take the position of, we want to pray, we want to kabash. No evil shall come near our children. Please, do not get me wrong. I am a bona fide first-class child of God, but I also have an understanding, deep understanding of what the scripture talks about parenting. Parenting is not God's job. Parenting is man's job on earth. And that's why Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was parented by man. If parenting was God's job, God would not let Jesus Christ be parented. You know, the Bible says that Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith. It means that Jesus Christ is the person that we're looking up to. And if that is the conversation, then how is it that Jesus was raised? Somebody, a human being, raised him. So it is your responsibility to educate for prevention. It is not God's responsibility. Please stop. And stop thinking that, oh, because you're raising your children in the way of the Lord, that your children will not be curious about sex. Is an abnormality of how it is that God has even created the human soul. If you know God well, you will understand that God created sex. God put in that curiosity in children as well. It's part of the developmental process of a child to be curious about sex. No, it is not a bad thing. It is a good thing that your child is curious. So if you start to get agitated about your child being curious about sex, and then you beat them because they asked you about sex, then you are actually working against God's mandate. Your job is to sit back and educate. You educate for prevention. You just don't anoint for protection. You educate for prevention. And that's an important aspect for you to get known. Number two, you need to get the right knowledge. You can't wing it. You can't wait until they are ready. If you wait until they start changing to start talking, you're already late. Let me say that again. If you wait until your child starts changing in puberty before you start talking about the body changes, you're already late. You're late because it has already gone. It has already gone. Your child, the curiosity has already started. Somebody sent me a message today. I'm going to share to inner circle parents. And if you're not in the inner circle, why now? That's one of the conversations we're having. Getting the right knowledge. So, and part of what it is that the person shared with me was about how she got her first experience about sex at age 3. And she said, Coach, I remember. She's a single lady in the inner circle. She's not married. And she said to me, the best thing that happened to me was being in the inner circle. I was listening to Mr. Christian Efobi, at the TIP Fathers Conference that just ended. He was one of the moderators. He said he's an unmarried brother. So whether you're married or you're not married, preparation is key. And he said, do you know that when I started, my journey in the inner circle, and one of the things that happened was that, somebody asked me, you're not married, you're not a father, why are you now in the inner circle? He said he regrets not being in the inner circle anymore. That because what has happened to him in the past 6 months, he cannot define it. So it's not about you waiting. If you wait until they start changing before you start talking, you're already late. So you need to get knowledge. I've heard parents who have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds ask me questions like, Coach, what do you think? Oh, should I start now? Is it not too early? My children are 2, they are 3. Believe you me, if you wait until they start changing, you're already late. You're already late. Because you're making puberty a surprise party. Your child's first teacher about their body should be you, not Google, not friends, not cartoons. Because that's where the law of first mention comes in. That's where the law of first mention comes in. What's the law of first mention? Whoever it is that you hear that sex from is the person you go back to all the time to learn about sex. And it's a big deal because this is a very important aspect. It's a personal thing. And that's why in the academy, when we start the conversations, we don't talk about sex until June. You know why? Because if you do not build relationship with a person, you can't talk to them about sex. You can't talk to them about sex because sex is a core personal conversation, even to your child. So if there's no relationship, I have no reason to discuss sex with you. welcome here. If you have not called someone to be part of this conversation, you are wrong. You are part of the problem. You are not lying. Like we say, right? In the yard, you are not lying. So it is important. It is important. Apostle Ifeanyi said, my children will enter in a circle early enough. If not, before youth service. I know that my Lord, Justice Adeyemi, her children are already in the inner circle. They are 18. I envy them. I just envy them. I have some young men who are in the inner circle. Some of them are 21, 22. Their parents are inner circle parents. When I listen, when I just see them, I'm like, the advantage our children will have. Because you know the truth, if we can break 50% of the circle we do, our children will come put it again because we can't do it. We can't do it all. We can't do it all. This is very, very important. Nkechi said, I have a friend who told me that children of 15, 13, and 11 are too early for sex education. Ha ha ha. I laugh in Chinese. Was it somebody that said it during his session? I just laugh. And I so laugh at you, you don't know what is happening. There's a lot that is happening that you do not have, you're not aware of. Now, don't Google at midnight when crisis happens. Or you go to ChatGTP. How do I help my child who is masturbating? ChatGTP will tell you that masturbation is not really bad. That's the problem. Quite a number of people have been telling you, I've been talking about these conversations around sex. And every time that we, talk about it, like, yeah, you go on Google. You need to take courses that teach you what to say and when. There is what to say and there is when to say it. You need to read age-appropriate books. I have a book called Walking Your Child Through Puberty. All right? Walking Your Child Through Puberty. Okay, thank you. Walking Your Child Through Puberty. I wrote that book during the pandemic, 2020. The twins were 10 when I wrote it. I started walking my children through puberty at age 5. And my husband and I would, put a curriculum, put it together. Most of what I have shared in Walking Your Child Through Puberty. I remember in the inner circle that year, I was sharing with parents in the inner circle and saying, these are the things that we're doing. Inner circle parents said, you know what, coach, please write a book on Walking Your Child Through Puberty. In fact, this was the idea. They put me through it. I started writing Walking Your Child Through Puberty, and I started putting it together, and it has a workbook. So when you get the book, you are able to also get the workbook to walk your child through puberty, step by step. Step by step. Cordelia said the Oputas family have a lifetime open access in the inner circle. All generation go nowhere. All right. Honestly, I do not, I even told my children, I said, that this conversation about there's no it pleased thou me in our house. Yeah, that's not what it pleased thou me means. And if you don't know, get into the yard. We're about to pepper you unapologetically so. All right. So get the right kind of knowledge. There was a part in the Bible where he was talking about knowledge. The Bible says that wisdom and stability shall be, so wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. And you find out that, the Bible says my people perish because of lack of knowledge, not just because you are not praying, but because you lack knowledge. This is very important. What do you know? What do you know? How do you learn the difference between curiosity and red flags? So it's not everything that is curiosity. It's not everything that is curiosity. It is, some of them are red flags. How do you know, that they are red flags? You need to learn. You need to understand why early exposure to porn affects the brain. See, some of our children are not going to come back from the things that they've seen. Today, my heart was shattered in millions. I was in a session with a particular parent, and the parent showed me what the boy saw of her. Sexual, nude, all sorts. And I was pained. I was pained because that could have been avoided. Now, is it possible that this boy is going to be able to actually go through healing and be able to pass through all of that? Yeah. Some of our children have seen porn accidentally and all of that. You keep your 5-year-old, he's sleeping with you. And in the night, you open and then you have sex. And then somewhere you're saying, hey, they are just children. They don't really know. Your 3-year-old is on the bed. You're having sex. Sometimes when I hear those things, I cringe. And then you're having your bath with your children. That's the one I've never been able to phantom. You're naked. Your children are naked. You're giving them a bath in the same bathroom. Like, like we say, are you high? There has to be something. You have to be on colos to actually be thinking like that, right? Don't mind me. But these are some of the things that we have ignorantly done. But ignorantly done. All right. And this is very important. So because it's become some of the things, and this has messed up the brain of most of our children, and you don't even know where what they're thinking. So if you're listening to me, you take your bath, you're a father, you're taking your bath with your sons, because stop. Or you're taking your bath with your daughter, no matter the age, please stop. You're a mother, you're taking your bath with your sons, even your daughters, please stop. Body autonomy, ownership of body, all right, is something that we need to actually teach and actually exemplify. See, ignorance can kill you. It's not bliss. Ignorance kills. May we not be ignorant, honestly speaking. Now we're shouting. Somebody's asking, how do you join the inner circle? The details are on my screen. May you not be ignorant. The inner circle is 120,000 per year. So you get to pay 10,000 as a single slot or 20,000 to book a slot. The next cohort starts on the 1st of December. But I tell you, the things you learn in the inner circle will change the way you think. And that's the first thing you actually need. The way you think. The way you think. Some of the things we have done it ignorantly. But when you begin to access knowledge, ignorance does not die by fires. It dies by knowledge. Ignorance does not die by fire. It dies by knowledge. It dies by knowledge. So if your child is, no matter what age, Cynthia said, my children are 11. I don't know how to talk to him about it. Please register for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro if you haven't. All right. All of the details are right on my screen. And you get these 3 books on my screen free of charge when you register. Please, ignorance is not bliss. Please don't stay in ignorance. And most importantly, don't argue in ignorance. I call it intelligent nonsense. Sometimes we share some books, so people will be saying, no, what are you saying? It's not true. Taking my bath with my children, come and stop me. I remember one time on social media, somebody posted and said, why are you taking your bath with your children? Can you stop? People that followed, hey, it's a lie. Why are you telling me that I'm taking my bath? It is my child. It is my business. I will decide how I want to take my bath with my children. All this covering of body. I was ashamed for the woman. Shame leave the woman, they catch me. Honestly speaking, shame left the woman and was catching me. And I was like, what is it? Ignorance kills. And meanwhile, it's the knowledge that you need. It doesn't die by fire. It dies by knowledge. You need all the knowledge that you can get when it comes to raising a child. All. And that's an important part. So you must understand how, these things work, so that you are not just, in the place where you are just, talking beautiful nonsense. You go online, you argue. Sometimes I see what parents are arguing online. My heart sinks because you don't know any better. You don't know any better. It's just like the way that we have free access with cousins and children, and our parents didn't know any better. That's why that free access was there. Most of us did a lot of nonsense with cousins in the name of family. Nobody taught us. Nobody went the extra mile to say this is what it is that your body is for. And yet we want to make the same mistake. The same mistake. You can't be just talking anyhow. Follow Uno road, so that you do not die by ignorance. All right. So let's go. Number 4, you need to heal your own traumas. If you were abused, if you were silenced, if you were shamed as a child, it's time to seek healing. Last month, we had the healing from childhood trauma course. If you've never been through healing, I beg you, that's the first thing to do. Because most times what we are projecting on our children is our own trauma. I heard a parent saying, my children will never go for any sleepover. I'm sure you are here, you are saying the same thing. Is that the solution? That is you leading by fear. That's not you actually parenting with knowledge. So your children will not go for any sleepover. I hear. How about if you die today? I say that to inner circle parents a lot. And if you're here listening to me and you're afraid when I said die, sorry, don't be afraid. That's how we say it. How about if you die today? If you end up dead today, what will happen? Will your children be equipped enough to actually take, into their destiny to be able to grow? Clarity instead of panic, language instead of silence, boldness instead of shame. That's what healing gives you. Healing does not keep you in a place. See, it's healing that will make you come out boldly and say, this person tried to molest me. I remember a priest tried to molest me, I was almost raped by a priest. My mom is here. She's aware. And I couldn't talk about it for a very long time because it was like something, shielded in secrecy. Don't talk about it. Somebody tried to rape you, you should be ashamed. So we have that shame for the victim. So most of us who actually got into the place, we are shamed for the victim is shamed instead of the offender. So we are scared to say the things that happened. And I started to talk about it. I was almost raped by my father's colleague. I was almost raped by a priest. I was 14, 13. And you know what? I was actually able to defend myself because I understood, defense skills. So I was able to escape. See, what you should be teaching your children is how you can actually help them, not just how you can shield them. Can you equip them to be able to take decisions? Oh, anytime any uncle comes, don't sit on the uncle's lap. That is you talking like our parents. Once they touch you on your lap, you get pregnant. What does that even mean? Don't sit on anybody's lap. That's a wrong kind of education. Instead of you to be educating your child on what they need to decide and discern. They say, don't talk to anybody. Don't hug anybody. Don't be close to your uncles. Because you have actually there was an attempt, maybe your uncles tried to molest you, and that gave you a trauma. Heal so that you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Heal so that you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. All right. So this is number 3. Number 3 is heal your own traumas. All right. I'm going to get to number 4. Number 3 is heal your own traumas. So clarity instead of panic. Stop panicking. Some say, hey, my children will never go to anybody's house. My children does not go out. Till yesterday, somebody said the silent but learning child. That was his topic. Yes, he didn't go out. He said, but yet, I was digitally molested. You see this book? Digital molestation, 100 ways your child can be abused and how you can prevent it. What you can do. So digital molestation is one of the books you get when you get into Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0. And for you to get into Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0, all you need to pay is $6,999 instead of $15,999. You pay it into this account and then send a message to the team and you will get access immediately today. If you don't pay today, by tomorrow, we will yank off this price and it will change. And then you will pay extra. But you know what? Even if you pay $15,000 for this class, you will gain access that will shock you. We are giving out Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 3.0 free. There are 5 master classes that will change the way you think about sex conversation. And yet, you will still be part of the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0 that is starting on the 30th. On the 30th. And this is very, very important. Right? What was it that same WhatsApp group as you, coach? Thank God for safety. Yes. So you need to heal. Number 4, you need to normalize conversations at home. You need to turn awkward to normal. When you start with proper body parts, my daughter and I, do a lot of conversations, and we are constantly talking about, a lot of the conversations. Stop teaching your children that there are private parts and there are public parts. Teach your children that every single part of their body is private to them. This is one of the things that we're going to learn as Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, and we'll teach you how you can actually begin to teach these things. This is very important. Let's quickly move. Number 5, you need to commit to growth. Parenting in the digital age requires skill. Being intentional requires commitment. You need to join Parenting Academy. Again, the Parenting Academy is coming up again. You need to join a Parenting Academy. Join the Inner Circle 2026 as we speak. Cohort 1B is, let me even signpost you a bit so that it's not like, oh, okay, they just want me to join this academy, they want to pay. Let me signpost you. We have cohort 1A to Z. And the truth of the matter is that even last year, we couldn't take everybody. So we stopped at Z, and we have a number we take for each cohort. We couldn't take anybody. We couldn't take everybody. We needed to take a number. We have almost 10,000 parents in the yard. We needed to take a number that we can cater for. It was important that we are actually able to cater for them. So we're not looking for everybody. We are actually looking for people who are committed to growth. Everybody cannot be in the inner circle as far as I'm concerned, because you would need to be committed to your growth. You need to be intentional. You need to be committed. You need to be able to invest in your growth. You know, a parent reached out to me and said how the son sent his pennies. The son is 15 and he's trending on, what is that thing people use? Snapchat. He's trending on Snapchat, and they live in the UK. The school has called, and how, his child is nude and all of that. And I said to the woman, she paid 200K to have a session. A session with me for 1 hour is 200K. It's going to increase soon. 1 hour, 200K, because I'm overwhelmed. You know the interesting thing, the inner circle is 120,000 a year. A whole full year. And you get the things that you can't even fathom. And then this is sitting with me for 1 hour. You know the interesting thing, after the 1 hour, she still needed to join the inner circle. Because the truth of the matter is that you cannot solve any problem in that instance. What will I do? I will retrieve the pennies online. I cannot retrieve it. But we need to start working a journey. Now, if I had told this parent before this penny sharing and say, oh, inner circle is here, join the inner circle so that you can learn, she will say, it's expensive. But now she has paid 200K per session. She's going to have about 4 sessions with me. Do the math. That's 800,000. And she will still pay that 120,000 that she said is expensive and join the inner circle. So by the time she's done, she will be spending 7 figures in Naira just to be able to just get that, and you know the unfortunate thing, the damage is done. That's the unfortunate thing. The damage is done. The damage is done. The damage is done. This is very, very important. All right? This is very, very important, because it is like you saying, oh, I'm not going to do this. It doesn't really matter. But of course, when the chips are down, it will matter, and then the damage. You're not trying to salvage a situation. You're not trying to salvage a situation. Why? Why? All right? You are your child's first teacher. You must not wait until they are exposed. You must not wait until they're exposed. Please join the yard. Join the inner circle. As you're joining Sex Educate Your Child like a pro, pay and register for the inner circle. Pay. Because the Bible says, buy the truth and sell it not. The truth is not cheap, and sell it not. So you pay. It's not free. Inner circle is not free. Sex Educate Your Child is almost free as far as I'm concerned. 6,999 is free. All right, so let's quickly run, all right, so that we can also get the things that we need to get. All right, what are the things that you need to do to prepare your child to walk them through puberty? Right? Somebody said, I have paid, here I come. Vocabulary Masters Challenge. It's so good to have you. Inner circle is a relation. Not everyone catches it. Truly. Truly. All right? But if you can catch it, it changes your life in this era. How do you walk your child through puberty? Number 1, you need to educate them early. Start before the body changes. Talk before the questions come up. Before my daughter started asking about pad, menstruation, I've shown her. She said when she got to school, people were, saying, no, no, when you start menstruating, if you have painful menstruation, you need to do, those things that they tell you in school. You need to be sleeping with a guy so that your painful menstruation will go and all of that. If you don't teach your children the right thing, they will go to school and they will learn it. That's why I wrote the guide, Sexual Reputation Culture. See, sexual reputation culture is a thing. 100 ways that your children are being pressured about sex and what it is that you need to do about it. So sexual reputation culture is something that you need to begin now to teach your children. And that's what we started early enough. What is that reputation? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? All right. And it's very important for you to begin to look at how this reputation is going to change the things that you're doing. How do you educate early? Explain the concept of personal space. Talk about the changes in the body. Join Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. I can't say it enough. And if you think that we're going to get to a point where we're saying, oh, you don't really need to join, you can pick your lessons from the street. Let me tell you what happens. Go on ChatGTP now and talk about STEM sex. ChatGTP is going to tell you that STEM sex is something that you need to nurture. If a child goes on ChatGTP now and say, I am confused about sex, or whether I'm a female or I'm a male, what do I do? Trust me, ChatGPT is going to say anything it is that you believe, how you feel. The truth of the matter is that these platforms do not give you the kind of knowledge that it is that you actually the truth. They just tell you what it is that the world sanctions. So you want to talk about body changes. You want to talk about breast development. You want to talk about hair growing. It's not, this one, the hair is growing on your armpit. Oh. Please, what's that? Please stop it. Stop it, Biko. Don't do that. We don't do that here. Please, we don't do that here. Please don't do that at all. Oh, you just say, look at your waist. Your breasts have even finished coming out. That's the, come on, don't do that to your child. It's unfair. Can you don't play those kind of jokes? At Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. All right, I'm going to share with you part of the curriculum we're sharing this year. I cannot wait. Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0 is going to be a hit back to back. Because if I tell you it's going to be a hit, trust me when I say so. We don't play, right? It will be a hit back to back. And don't ever forget that. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that I am going to be in Canada, right? I'm going to be in Canada on the 5th of July. Canada Yadas have prayed for this day. They've done all, they fasted. I will tell you the story of being in Canada soon, but I'm going to be in Canada. You can send a message to us if you want to be in Canada, right? If you're in Calgary and you want to be in that event, all right? Just send us a message. I'll send you details on how you can register. The team will also distribute it everywhere so that you can also see it to share with your family and friends in Canada. It's going to be something else. All right, I'm going to come with the golf, and we are shutting down Calgary. just don't forget. All right, by this time on the 5th of July, where everywhere is on fire, you can ask UK people what happened to UK. And yes, we can't wait to actually be there. Right? This is so important. I needed to call that up so that I can tell you about Canada. And remember, we're also going to be in the US, all right, on the 12th. Okay? Yes, this is the US, the Intentional Parent Summit, United States, Maryland, United States, 12th of July. So yes, my waka is plenty this period. I go from the UK, the Canada, and I go to the US. And from the US, we are flying back into Nigeria. And in October, we will be in the UK. Boom! We're going to be in the UK in October. Amazing. October 25th, 2025. We'll be in Warri, I think September. We're going to get all the other flyers, for the Nigerian round, and then we will also share with you. All right. Somebody said, oh, God, if you are Igbo, you get it. So, yes, starting from Canada to the US to the UK, I cannot wait to actually be with you. Yes, we're shutting it down. They will know we came. Come on now. If they don't know, why now? All right. So that is one of the things that you do. So educate early, which is the first E. Educate early, right? Educate early. If you don't tell them first, someone else will, and they may not tell it right. they may not tell it right. Okay? They may not tell it right. Number two, empower with boundaries. Help your children understand body autonomy, consent. No one, not cousins, not teachers, should touch any part of their body. It's something that you need to teach. Teach them to say stop. Teach them to actually walk away. Teach them to report. All right. Number three, establish what I call safety culture. Create a home where you feel free to ask anything. Even the awkward questions. Let them know. Let them avoid punishing or shaming a child when they ask questions. A child asks you a question about an armpit growing up. You call your sister and say, that's how Chikomeka told me that the armpit is growing up. What's that? That's so crass, so low. Please don't do it. We don't do that here. Okay? Please do not do it either. So please, so that your children can actually begin to actually connect. Okay? So that they are not ashamed. Don't shame them when they come and say this one or that one and all of that. The other day I was having a conversation with our daughter and she was saying, oh, I think one of my breasts is bigger than one. And I was like, yeah, it's normal. And we're not started talking about breast, talking about the nipples, we just talked about that part of the body and all that. She was like, let me even show you something and all of that. Imagine that girl just sitting down somewhere, and then I call my sister or I call my friend. Yeah, if you see if her had grown so big, the other day I was looking at her breast, all big. Come on, normalize nonsense. Don't do it. So crass. We don't do that here. So please don't do it. All right. You need to really, really, help your children, empower them with boundaries. And when you're empowering a child in boundary, you too have boundaries of what to say, how to say. Don't just speak about your children's body. Look at her back. Even want us, come closer. And you say those things, you say it like you're praising your child. What does that even mean? You now begin to glorify the body of the child. Tomorrow you say they want to wear skimpy things. They want to layla their uku now for you, right? So that everything can look all coming out. Please, can you stop? The body of the child is not a thing for you to toss around, used to make jokes, used to praise, please stop it. There are two extremes that can happen when you do that. All right? And this is very important. You need to teach your children to actually value their body and don't create jokes around their body. Please don't do it. It's part of body boundaries. So empower with boundaries. Number three, I say establish safety culture. That's part of safety culture. Yes, it's objectification. And you say, wear this one. Your daughter will wear this one. You say, look at you. You're objectifying that girl. Look at your body. Look at your body. I heard one mother complaining, I'm not going to let my child go out because her body is all set. She has breasts in the right places. I'm like, what is all this? Who are these mothers? Who raised you people? If they just re-raise yourself, please, like some of us have done. Re-raise yourself. Stop doing things like that. All right. This is very, very important. All right. So establish safety culture. Number four, equip with values. Puberty is not about what happens in the body. It's about what they believe. Teach family values around sexuality, around modesty, around self-control, around respect. Integrate your spiritual truths. Their body is created by God, is good, is worth protecting. Discuss how to manage feelings, how to manage attraction. There's part of the things we're going to teach you is how to teach your sons at the Sex Educate Your Child like a Pro 5.0, how to teach your sons attraction management. And how to teach your daughters attraction management is a thing. Do you know that attraction management is one of the things that have killed many men? You don't know when you are being used and reduced to a bread inside water, like the Bible said. And that's why Delilah destroyed a mighty man like Samson, because he was not taught attraction management. It's something that you need to deal with. And it's taught during puberty. The other day, my husband was, we have a whole sheet teaching on attraction management. And my husband was using it to teach our son who is 15. And, it was just flying like a sheep when he now got to a point. I overheard him when I passed. And then my son was like, it actually makes really, it's very attractive. And you must teach your sons to actually manage those attractions. All right? Thank you so much, the Gov. The best way to protect your child is knowledge, not imprisonment at home. I love it. The best way to protect your child is knowledge, not imprisonment at home. Don't imprison your children at home. Register for Sex Educate your child like a pro. All right. I hope you've hit the like button, and I hope you have shared with this knowledge, with everybody. Apostle Ifeanyi says Samson don't collect. Samson is only collecting in the yard. In fact, I think he pleased down me webinar. It's our next webinar. Am I correct? It's our Thursday webinar. Yeah. The others don't get it. Webinar about he pleased down me. You guys are going to. It's always hilarious, fun to listen to that webinar, but a lot of things to actually. That's where Samson is the subject of the day now. Please down me. Come on now. All right. Come on. Well, let's go. But yes, attraction management is a thing, and you need to actually begin to work on it. So it's part of the curriculum at Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0. Register so that you don't actually miss this offer. This offer is live now, and it's going to actually be off soon. Number 4, equip with values. All right, we've already shared that. Equip with values. Number 5, engage with tools. Don't just talk. Don't just talk. Use tools to guide conversations. Use tools to make meaning learning age-appropriate conversation. Use books like Walking Your Child Through Puberty. Use books like Digital Molestation Guide. Use books like Sexual Reputation Culture. Don't just engage without tools. Most times I've seen parents who come in and they are engaging, right? And they are engaging in a way that they can't really, there's no tangible thing. We never engage our children without having tools for them to actually work with. Chat, visuals to explain these changes. That's why I love the inner circle again. You have tools in countless times how you can actually put it all together. The inner circle gives you access to tools that you have never thought of. There's no kind of guide you won't find in the inner circle. If you register for an inner circle, if you do one day after the first webinar and you are all right, come and collect back your money. Nobody stays all right after webinar 1, which is the induction. After the induction, you sit in your space and you're like, okay, where have I been? That's what happens every year. And yes, we love it. And even if you've been in the inner circle for 10 years, every year the induction feels same way. Like, whoa, where have I been? All right. This is very important. So engage with tools. Take them through courses. Take them through sessions tailored for their age. And Tima is there. She has, the girls' hall. Uncle Ebuka is there. He has the Boys Leadership Academy. My 2 children are in both, academies, because there is also something about the tailored, courses that they need to go to for their age appropriateness. Start now, not later. Whether your child is 5, whether your child is 8, whether your child is 11, thank you so much, Yatunde. Educate early, empower with boundaries, establish safety culture, equip with values, and engage with tools. That is book. That's why we created Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, to help you build confidence. So you can pass down the right kind of knowledge without fear, without shame, without confusion. You're going to learn how to talk to your child at every stage. It doesn't even matter whether you have never spoken to them before. You're going to learn how to handle questions about puberty, about porn, about crushes, about boundaries. We will teach you what you need to do. All right. You're going to also learn, how to protect your child without panicking. You're not going to be panicking and be thinking, oh, what is my children going to learn and all of that. You are also going to get the 3 free books when you register. These 3 books that is right on my screen. You get it free. Yes, you heard me right. You get it free. And I want to show you 6 non-negotiable skills you must build before your child gets to puberty. I'll just rush through it because time is not going to permit me to do that. It's part of what we're teaching at Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. We're teaching you different kind of skills. I'm going to name only 3 of them for the purpose of this class. All right. Number 1 skill you need will be age-appropriate communication skills. Stop thinking that they are too young. Start early, learning how to say big things in little ways. Start learning how you can speak to your 2-year-old, the same conversation. All right. The same conversation. Small things that you're supposed to actually do. Stop thinking, oh, my child is just 2. This is not for me. You must actually be able to skill up and understand what you can do. How does it match their age with clarity and truth? That's number 1. Number two, you must have what I call the early sex education framework. Part of what you're learning at Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro is the early sex education framework. The early sex education framework has six, structures that, put it is structured, is age appropriate, is value based system for teaching your children, sex conversation. Early sex conversation framework. There is a framework. Sex is not the enemy. Silence is the enemy. Many African homes have treated sex as a taboo. Something that you just need to know. Children don't lose their innocence because you taught them early. They lose it when they learn the wrong things too late. Let me say that again. Children don't lose their innocence because you taught them early. They lose it when they learn the wrong things too late. So it's not the early conversation that is the problem. It is when they begin to learn this thing that they are supposed to have learned, they begin to learn it wrongly, in the wrong ways, and they begin to actually learn it too late. So I'm going to be teaching you what we call the early sex education framework. Early sex education framework, the structure, the age appropriateness, the value-based system for teaching your child. It's not a one-time talk. It's not the talk. It's a series of intentional conversations that is going to begin early and grow as your children grow. So without a framework, one of the things I have found is that without a framework, you delay out of fear. You respond reactively when there's a crisis. So when there's a crisis, you're not pacing around. And you know what? I was having a conversation with the mothers who came with their girls for the girls, TikTok, girlhood TikTok with Auntie Tima. My daughter was also there. So I spent some hours with the mothers who came. And one of the things we're talking, I was teaching them, saying something, about this reactivity in crisis. Have you noticed that when there is a crisis, when you're reacting, you begin to lie, you begin to panic, and sometimes you exaggerate your story. But when you build an early education framework, it gives you the opportunity to tell your story without lies, to tell your story with the right kind of censored vulnerability. Because vulnerability is not an open window. No, it's not. There is a system to share, especially when it comes to age appropriateness with your children. So it begins to help you to actually know what it is. You respond, you don't react. All right? Without a framework, you hope that school will teach it. You hope that church will teach it. And then without a framework, your child will turn to Google. That auntie, we call them area sister in the yard. Inner circle parents. I love the inner circle lingua. If we speak inner circle lingua, I probably be lost. So area sisters. Who remembers area sisters? Please, can you describe who an area sister is? Or area brother? Comment section. Now your child will turn to an area sister or even turn to an area brother and all of that. But with a framework, you're going to normalize open conversation. Your child will know that they can ask you anything without feeling shame. You give them tools to organize abuse, to recognize abuse, to ask questions, to make informed choices. You raise children who are curious, but are not careless. All right? And then, of course, Cordelia said, Mommy London and co. Area sisters, area brothers, Mommy London, Mommy Texas. All right? That's the co-parents are not nice. Mommy London, they're not nice. All right, this is why we actually created Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. We're going to help you build this framework. We're going to help you build this framework from toddler to teens. You get scripts for every age, teaching tools, you get books, you get lessons, you get coaching that equip you to equip them. All right? And because the parent, you should be the first teacher, not the internet. So don't let silence raise your children. Be the loud, safe, wise, and loving voice that guides them. And one of the things that I wrote on my notes is how to teach your children, right? About the skills and the things that you actually need to teach. The early sex education framework and all the other frameworks that we also put together. But of course, this is when the Tuesday Live today ends. But of course, if you are not registered for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, don't wait for the talk. You need to start. Your child needs a safe space, not a scared parent. Every child is born innocent. What they learn or unlearn depends on what you teach or what you ignore. When you raise children in silence, don't be shocked when they suffer in silence. So sex, again, conversation does not destroy innocence. Ignorance is what destroys innocence. And you need to actually begin to put that in consideration. Who is ready for the grand reveal? If you have not registered for Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, I'm not talking about it again. Register or leave it, right? We will meet you at the end when it happens. It's either you pay now, you pay later. Either way, you do the time. So if you want to do the time, oh well, that's it. I wouldn't love you to do the time, because the time can mean that your children will need to pay the price. All right. But before I talk about the great reveal, now let me talk about this, the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro group registration. We opened up a group registration discount available, where we are still using the 1% 599 system for group registration. And even when you register 10%, you still have a 10% discount. So even at 699, what you're going to get is that for 10% is 70,000 naira. But if you pay for group of 10, you pay 53,999,990. All right, 53,990. So what it means is that you're saving a whooping 14,000 naira. All right, and all of these people will still get the books. All right, these 3 books, available to them. If you register 40 people on a normal day, it's supposed to be 140,000 naira, but you are getting off a whole 40,000 naira, and you are paying 100,980 only. This is why we created the group option. Today, Chidera was sharing a story about a particular teacher who was grooming the girls, and there were rumors how even this man was also, touching girls, having sex with them, and all of the things that were happening. Now, Chidera was going there ignorantly. She said, you know what, I didn't really know. Now, here's the thing that I learned very early on my journey as a parent. When I started Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5 years ago, we started to add every single, my children were already in college. We started to add every single parent, teacher that were close in the proximity of our children. So every teacher, their housemasters, everybody attend Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. Now, even if there was a particular teacher that is like Mr. Taiwo, they will know that I'm on guard. So even if they want to actually do it, they won't do it with my child. Because they're going to listen to Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, right? They are going to see that, oh, okay, this woman talks about this thing. She knows that means her children are aware. They will stay clear. See, you're protecting your children when you actually protect the environment. So that's something that you need to do. You're protecting your children because environment is a big deal. If I say, Coach, I did group registration. My team lead, microphone Empress, are too much. Microphone Empress, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Right? So you get into the group. Imagine that everybody, your children's friends, their parents know the same thing you know. You will no longer be afraid of sleepover. I'm not afraid of sleepover. Hello. My children do sleepover all the time. As Sex Educate is happening, everybody is inside. My parents, my siblings, everybody that can play a major role in their lives. Because you know what? It's a selfish thing. Yeah, you heard me right. And that's why we created this. Your children's school teachers, your children's church teachers, these are the conversations. And this is something we made it easy for you so that you can also have that, thing to actually be able to pay for people around you. I beg you, get people in. There are people on this stream that people paid for. If you are here, let me see your hands. And I'm sure that you're really very grateful. You're really very grateful for it. So you can share the discount. We'll share the discount, options in the group, in the registered group. If you're already registered, you can actually make the options in this, use it to actually getting people around you. Now, I said something to Chidera when she shared that, and I said, if Mr. Taiwo was my child's teacher, she will not have the mind to molest my child, even if he's a pedophile, because I've put the right things around it. And that's what I'm asking you to do. You might not be able to change a pedophile, you might not be able to change somebody around you, you might not be able to change that uncle, but by the time they listen to Sex Educate, they will know that your child is not one of their victims. That's the truth. So if you have a brother who is a pedophile, who is at risk, your children are at risk staying with that brother, that your brother will not dare it because he knows that there's something that is bigger. And if God will have it, since we are not God, the Bible says Paul planted, Apollos watered. It's only God that gives increase. And as God will have it, they might also hear these things and it will bring about change. It will bring about change in them. My sister is here. Shout out to you, Genevieve Obiro. All right, that's my elder sister. It will bring about change. I don't do things in local and haphazard. When we are going, we're all moving together. When we are going, we're all moving, me and my siblings, because I don't want story. I don't want we went cousin touched another cousin. You will not kiss, you will not do. I beg. Your children need to learn. My children need to learn, and that's a very key aspect. Cynthia said, my elder sister paid for me, and she's the inner circle. I can't thank her enough. Cynthia Uzodima, thank you for sharing that. Please, if you have your siblings, get them in. Let that be the little sacrifice that you can do. Instead of buying them hair from 1 acre, buy them Sex Educate only for 5,999. I'm sure people say I'm dragging 1 acre again. Don't mind me. 1 acre is my person. So please, I'm just talking about high. And please, don't think it's about anything. All right, these are inside jokes from the yard, I guess. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Who is ready for our great reveal? Our great reveal. Are you ready? Are you ready? Team, let's have the great reveal. It's TIP Annual Conference 2025. Team, the King's Mandate. Influence, impact, inheritance. Date 21st to 27th of July 2025. Anticipate. We are about to bring down everywhere. Drum roll! I'm excited. I don't know. You don't know how excited I am. The Annual Conference is free. We invite you to invite anybody. The King's Mandate is going to be loud. 40 speakers. I am bringing you. You guys don't know anything. You don't just get it. CIB Annual Conference have taken another turn. We will break the internet in pieces this year. Like boom, 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 everywhere. So are you ready for the King's Mandate? Influence, impact, inheritance. 21st to 27th July 2025. Take your leave. Yes, you heard me right. CIB Annual Conference, take your leave. Apply for leave. Sit down with TIP Annual Conference. We call it the parenting Shiloh of our time. When you're done with TIP Annual Conference, if you remain the same, just know that I am fake. I am fake. Our parenting Shiloh is here. How would you? Our parenting Shiloh is here. So boom, get ready. Tell someone that the TIP Annual Conference is here, and we're going to start, all over. Somebody's asking, how do you get the books? All you need to do is to just send a chat to the number on the screen, and you'll be able to get the books anyway. You can also buy our books on Amazon. All right, I have different kind of books. All right, copies available on Amazon. I've written 20 books in hard copies. Right. All right, so Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Raising the Girl with Sense, Raising the Boy You Don't Need to Bail Out, Raising the Trophy Child, Raising the Independent Thinking Child. I've written so much books that you want to actually begin your parenting with. If you're new and you're thinking, where do I start? Start with Connect to Correct. Connect to Correct, it was my first book. Start with it. Then go to Discipline is Not an Emergency. All right? I don't have Connect to Correct copy here. Okay? Start with Discipline is Not, Connect to Correct. Discipline is Not an Emergency. Then go to Discipline That Works. If you're looking for an order to read it, you haven't come in contact with my books before, Connect to Correct is your first point of call. If you have not read parenting books, that's where to start. Alrighty, so the King's Mandate. Ready, go. This is where I sign out. Don't forget that Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro is on the 30th. Let's see the flyer. We have the flyer. The flyer that have the speakers. All right, is on the 30th of July. It's starting from 30th of June, right? I will be taking the stage. You will hear the things that you have not heard before. All right. And of course, somebody's asking, where is the flyer for the King's Mandate? We're going to share. The King's Mandate, we're going to share on our social media, handle and all of that can we are anticipating. Okay, my student's mom paid for me, and I'm glad to be here. I'm so excited that your student's mother paid for you. That's how we actually, pay for all the teachers in my children's school. It's our responsibility. It is our responsibility, to actually have that. Are we having that? All right. To actually have that and all of the things that we would need to actually bring together. All right. So whoever that is listening to me, you want a copy of my books, you can get them on Amazon. You can get my books on seller, e-copies if you wish. We also have distributors all over the world. We have distributors from different parts of the world. We have distributors in the US. We have distributors in Canada. We have distributors in UK. There is nowhere you are looking for our books you will not get. If it's not in your location, you go on Amazon. All right. Yes, Professor Chris Instructor said the TIP Shiloh is here. The TIP Shiloh is here. The King's mandating. All right. And that is where it is that we call it a day. Don't forget that as soon as you register for the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro 5.0, you get these 3 materials. You get them totally, completely free. Nobody's charging you a dime for it. And trust me, it cost me sleepless nights to write this book. So it's not like it's just, no. But because I want you to actually have access to true tools that will help you. And did I tell you that TIP Annual Conference is free? Did I tell you it's free? We do a lot, all right? But we do it because we know that we can change the narrative. So TIP Annual Conference is free. It's coming up, and make sure that you tell people. We're going to start, creating registrations on how you can get into the TIP Annual Conference already seated. And if you want to serve with us at the TIP Annual Conference, we also share a link if you want to serve, volunteer, and be part of the process. All right, it will also be our joy to have you there. Tim, do we have that? All right. So okay. All right. I was going to share about the final flyer of the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, but it's fine. I don't think I have it in the studio, and it is okay. This is where somebody said last year the Kingmaker 2024 was life-changing. I joined Inner Circle after the annual conference. Actually, last year was Raising Kings, those who make kings, and those who sit at the table with kings. So this year, offshoot is we're having the King's Mandate. So the King's Mandate is our go-to. The King's Mandate is our go-to. And this is where we call it a day. And thank you again and again for being part of our joy and being part of the process. We cannot wait to have you at Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro Challenge. Can we talk about cousins? We were raised to believe that family meant safety, that being under the same roof meant all was well, that if it wasn't a stranger, there was no threat. But predators don't always come from outside. Sometimes it's someone you trust, someone they trust. Our parents were careless, not because they were evil, but because they didn't know any better, because they avoided tough conversations, because they believed abuse looked like violence, not play. Because they taught us to be great with everybody, to greet everybody with hugs, with kisses, unfiltered access to our bodies in the name of family. Today, we need to break that circle. Not everyone deserves physical access to your child, family. Your child is not being rude when they say no. Your child's first line of defense is for you to whip them, for you to teach them. Don't assume, ask. Don't be silent, listen. Don't delay, start early. This is why we created the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro Challenge, so that we can actually stop raising children in the dark. Your child deserves the truth, not fear, not suspicion, but empowerment. Register today. Let's raise children who know what to do, who tell you, and who know also when to walk away. Right? Don't forget that Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro will empower you, and you get these 3 guides that is right on my screen. The digital molestation guide, you get it free. The sexual reputation guide, you get it free, and also how to actually navigate your child breastfeeding. You also get it free. See you in class.
Dear fathers, we once again welcome you to the Intentional Parents Fathers Conference 2025, Making of a Father. Let's be honest, being a father is one of the greatest honor and also one of the hardest jobs. There is no off, no switch, most of the time, no support. But what if you didn't have to carry the weight alone? That's why we at the Intentional Parents Academy have put out a pack, Legacy Pack Inside, you'll find the legacy mapping tool, guided reflections on personal fatherhood, the fatherhood inventory, the belonging statement, legacy letter templates, affirmation and declaration for fathers, 30 days intentional fatherhood challenge, template for father-daughter and father-son days guide, prompt card for spark intentional conversation, and the legacy mapping. 10 powerful tools to help you lead, connect and grow, not just as a man but as a father. This is your moment to seize this opportunity and get this pack just for 10,000 naira. This is your moment. At this conference only, the 10-in-1 bundle pack is available at a special rate of 10,000 naira. Don't live with just motivation. Live with tools to help you lead your home well, because your child don't need a perfect dad. They need a present one. Let's rise together.
Hello, wonderful youngers in Canada. How are you all doing today? Summer is almost here and we're super duper excited. But wait a minute, let me ask you a quick question. Where will you be on July 5th, 2025? All right, follow me. Let's hear from other youngers what their plans are for that big day.
Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Ose Igonidaria and I am the TIP Canada Coordinator. I will be attending the first ever TIP Canada Parent Summit. Are you ready? It's gonna be a transformative experience.
I can't wait for the transformative experience.
It is the parenting advantage.
Can't wait for the transformation that will come with it.
Transformational legacy.
And I will be attending the TIP Parent Summit.
I am ready to be transformed, to be elevated, to take my parenting several notches higher. Come closer. Will you be there?
Maryland, are you ready? On July 12th, for the first time ever in the US, Coach Wendy Logan will be hosting the Intentional Parent Summit in Glen Burnie, Maryland. The theme of this groundbreaking summit? Time, the currency of a kingmaker.
So what can you expect? Parenting insights that will completely transform the way you raise your children, a mindset shift to help you maximize time, the greatest asset of a kingmaker, support and encouragement from a thriving community of like-minded parents who are on the same journey, exclusive access, and the unique opportunity to engage with a world-class parenting coach, Africa's #1 and internationally recognized thought leader, and the author of 20 books on parenting.
This is more than a conference. It's going to be amazing and insightful, a life-changing experience. You don't want to miss it. I will be there.
How to register? Click the link below or follow the instructions on the screen to pay your general admission investment of only $130, which includes delicious food, because why not? Great transformation is fueled by good food. If you want to receive VIP treatment for only $200, get all the general admission perks plus priority seating, access to an exclusive VIP mixer with Coach Wendy, and a gift bag that includes a bunch of goodies, including her latest book, The Kingmaker, exclusively autographed just for you.
Can't make it in person? No problem. Just grab the virtual pass for only $30 and join us from anywhere. Click the link below or follow the instructions on your screen to register now before tickets sell out. I will certainly be there. Will you?
I will definitely be there.
The UK TIP 2.0 Summit is here. Are you even ready?
Whether you're a parent, a guardian, or anyone that is passionate about raising strong, emotionally healthy children, this is for you. When is this happening?
It's happening on Saturday, the 25th of October 2025, here in Birmingham, the United Kingdom, at RCCG Covenant Restoration Assembly, located at Matalan Building, 123 to 125 New John Street, Aston, B6 4LD. So, who are the speakers?
The VC herself, Coach Wendy, Coach Kunle, Coach Ebuka and Coach Etima will all be there to equip you with the tools and mindset to parent on purpose. Let me tell you why you should attend.
You will learn how to build strong emotional connections with your children, set healthy boundaries without yelling or guilt, navigate the digital age confidently as a parent, handle behavioral changes with grace and wisdom, raise children who are resilient, respectful, and rooted in value. You'll be surrounded by a powerful community of parents just like you, ready to grow and support one another. How should people register?
Scan the QR code or use the link in the description of this video to register for only £53.50 per adult. And yes, professional childcare is available on site for only £43.50 per child. So you do not need to worry. Bring your little ones and enjoy the summit stress-free. You don't want to miss this life-transforming opportunity. I will be there, would you?
Your voice and shout, come on.